Hello, La Grande Alive! Welcome to The Second Pot, the show where guests from Coffee with Will come back for another round of suffering. I'm Will Bowman, and this is Laura Ekstein, who is a local attorney and a recent candidate for the local district attorney race. She is coming back onto my show for some odd reason to chat with me and tell me now what she's up to and maybe some lessons that she learned from the campaign. So, Laura, thank you so much for stopping into the show. Now, this show is brought to you by Grand Ron Hospital, Anything to Digital, EO&I, Les Schwab, Northwest Furniture and Mattress, and Grand Ron Hospital. I think I might have said them, but that's okay. We'll give you two Grand Ron Hospital. So, today, before we get into things, we're going to play a little game. Now, Laura says she does not like games. So I am going to make this as easy and as goofy as humanly possible so that Laura might come off of the show actually maybe enjoying games. So are you ready for this game, Laura?
I'm ready as I'm going to be.
So what we are going to play today, La Grande Alive, is esoteric law trivia. We're going to go through some different laws from around the United States and see which one, if she can guess, what is the real law off these. So, all right, and we're going to start our coffee pot. Is the light on? The light is on. So when the coffee pot is done, the game is over. So, all right, here we go. So, question number 1. So, in Arizona, it is, now I don't know if I mentioned this, she's a lawyer, so obviously she should know every little esoteric law across the United States.
And I'm licensed in Arizona, so maybe.
Oh, well, there you go. So she might actually know this one.
Uh-oh.
In Arizona, it is illegal to, 1, chop down a fruit tree on your own property, 2, dive off a bridge higher than 15 feet, 3, feed garbage to pigs without a permit. Those are your 3 options. I can repeat them if you need me to.
I am going to go with 3 because there are a lot of javelinas that look like wild pigs and regulations about that, so I'm just going to go crazy with the pigs.
Is that your final answer?
It's my final answer.
Well, that is the correct answer! Woo-hoo! Look at that. All that studying in Arizona.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
It's all about the pigs.
I studied
And actually,
for this.
fun fact about that, one exception, at least according to the law that I read, was that you can feed your own household garbage to your own pigs without an exemption, or without a permit. So, all right, cool. So she's got 1. Question number 2. In what state is it illegal to have a greased pig chase or throw turkeys or chickens in the air, even with the intent of catching them? 1, Alaska. 2, Louisiana. 3, Minnesota, or 4, Hawaii?
Should I be offended by the pig theme? Is there a theme?
No, I promise. There's no pigs in any of the rest of them. I
Okay, it's
promise.
just a coincidence. Okay, we're going to be done with the pigs.
No pigs, no more pigs. This
I'm
is the
going to
last
go
pig
with
we
my
should-
gut instinct. I'm going to say B, Louisiana.
Louisiana, is it your final answer?
It is.
Well, that is the incorrect answer. It is actually Minnesota. Isn't that weird?
that
Like,
is
you
weird.
wouldn't think that having greased pig chases or turkey throwing and chicken throwing contests would be like a Minnesota thing.
I thought that would be normal, like state fair competition.
Just like a run-of-the-mill thing that happens in Minnesota.
Like, what's your pig throwing time?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. I have a pig throwing time.
Yeah, I'm going to go get one. Now I got
Because in
to.
Oregon, that is not
Yeah.
illegal.
It's totally legal here.
All right. So
So I'm
question number...
1 for 2.
1 for 1. Yep, so you have 1 and 1. Question 3. In Little Rock, Arkansas, it is illegal to 1, go swimming in a bog with any known sighting of alligators. 2, sound a horn on a vehicle at any place where cold drinks or sandwiches are served after 9 p.m. Or 3, be a black person.
Currently?
Currently.
Okay.
In Little Rock, Arkansas.
I really hope that's not it.
It's not.
Okay. So now I have 50%
So
chance.
now you have
Okay.
a 50-50 chance.
I, again, have to go with my first instinct. It's not always right, but I'm going to do it. It's A.
Going swimming in a bog with any known sighting of
But
alligators.
it's probably B now that I think of it, but I'm going to go with A.
Are you sure?
Well, I'm thinking the drive-through, don't be rude, don't honk after 9.
It could be. That could
Oh
be
my
very well be it.
All right, I will go B. Final answer.
B, final answer. Well, your final answer was correct, and that is correct. It is illegal to go sound a horn at a vehicle at any place where cold drinks and sandwiches are served after 9 p.m. in Little Rock, Arkansas. It is legal to be a black person, just in case you were wondering.
Okay, good.
But interestingly enough, it doesn't say anything about places where hot drinks and sandwiches are served. So if you go in a place like that, you can just,
Okay, so this is just your drive-up restaurant at night?
Your drive-up restaurant at night.
I am
drinks
so
and
glad
sandwiches.
to know that. Okay.
Because I knew that was going to be something you were going to do.
It was on my list.
All right, so next question. In California, it is illegal to, 1, water your lawn for more than 30 minutes at a time.
With a straw? Okay.
That could be it. 2, own a pet shark or sea urchin. Or 3, eat a dead frog.
That's very tempting, but I'm going to go with A.
A, water your lawn for more than 30 minutes at a time. Final answer?
Yes.
Well, that is actually incorrect. The answer is actually 3. It is
frog.
illegal to eat a dead frog in the state of California. So any Californians watching, you can have a dead frog, but you just can't
Don't
eat
eat
it.
it.
So we're doing...
I have a book called Eat the Frog, and I've been reading, so don't do that in California.
Yeah, that's not written by a Californian.
No. Highly illegal.
All right, so it looks like we probably got about another, maybe 2 questions for us. So, in what state, so the next question, in what state is it illegal to take a selfie with a tiger? All right, so 1, Hawaii. 2, Washington, D.C. 3, Ohio. Or 4, New York.
Boy, oh boy.
I know, these are really weird ones, right?
I'm just going to say Washington, D.C. because there's the National Zoo there. Not really a great reason, but I'm going with it.
All right. Number 2 is her final answer, and that answer is actually incorrect. But it was in the right general area of the United States. New York is actually
that was my second choice.
So New Yorkians, no selfies with tigers. I know that was what you were going to go do today.
The Grand Tigers.
The Grand Tigers. You can do those. Those are legal. All right, last one because we're coming up here. So, in Illinois, it is illegal to 1, fall asleep in a cheese shop. 2, put an E at the end of Illinois. 3, carry an umbrella during a lightning storm.
I really like the cheese shop one. I'm going to go with the umbrella.
You're going to go with the umbrella?
Yeah,
final answer?
Final answer.
You should have gone with the cheese shop. That's right. You should have gone with it. The cheese shop. It is illegal to fall asleep in a cheese shop in the state of Illinois.
It's too bad. I love cheese, and I would like to surround myself with it.
Surround yourself with cheese. Eat some cheese, and then take a
fall
nap.
Asleep, wake up, eat the cheese. Yes.
Absolutely. Now, there you go. So our coffee pot is done. The game is over. It looks like you got 2, 1, and I think you got 2 out of 5. Well, that is not a reflection of your ability as a lawyer in any way. These are some of the most esoteric laws I could find on the entirety of Google. So thanks for being a good sport and playing a game with us.
Right.
So now before we go on into our conversation part, we're gonna take a look at a couple quotes from Laura's past Coffee with Will.
What I do every morning is before I even get out of bed, I consciously decide what I want. I set my intentions for that day. I have an app set on my phone twice a day that asks me what I'm grateful for and what my 3 things I'm focusing on that day. And at the end of the day, I review that. So being conscious about this is what has to happen today. And the answer is never everything. I can't do everything. It helps me to prioritize and be intentional about it. You are capable of so much more than you think you are.
Yeah.
And our minds play this game with us. I tell a lot of young mothers struggle with this. They don't feel like they're doing a good enough job. I was a single mother, 800 miles away from home. Little kids just feeling every day that battle.
Wow.
And I realized I was doing better than I thought I was. And I tell moms, you're doing better than you think you are. I tell athletes, you are stronger than you think you are. So the battle is right here. The things that I've done in my life, I've had many successes and many terrible heartbreaks and trials like most people have. And those things give such a depth of strength. When I have something that I believe in and I know is right, I don't back away from that. I stand my ground because I've been through, I've had context, I've had perspective. I don't shy away from that at all. And that's the advantage with having extensive experience is you don't get blown away, blown side to side when things come along because you're like, I've been through this before. I've been through something like this. I've been through worse before.
So those were a couple clips from our past Coffee with Will, where Laura came in and she chatted with me a little bit about her life philosophy and how she was going to look forward toward the race. Now, she did not get the district attorney position, but what's kind of interesting to me is, that she, based on what we kind of talked about, what she talked about in that episode, you kind of came prepared. You have sort of a life philosophy that prepares you for failure, in that it kind of assumes that. And I know you're a CrossFit trainer, and being an athlete and working with athletes, failure is kind of an integral part of being able to actually achieve your goals. So how does that kind of fit in? What did you learn from the experience of being there? How has it kind of narrowed your focus? What's going on in the mind of Laura in regards to that?
Failure is an interesting concept because it's an absolute necessity for success. And speaking of CrossFit coaches, the most successful CrossFit coach is named Ben Bergeron. He has a saying, he probably didn't make it up, but it's something I really think about a lot. You either win or you learn. And we have this really negative view of, quote, failure. I don't feel that I failed. I feel that me running was absolutely the right thing to do. I wanted to raise public awareness and put myself out there in the community and be of service. And that's absolutely happening. That was an incredible experience too. I love this community. I live here. I'm raising my children here. I'm going to be here for the long haul. And to just meet everyone and get a new perspective on things, those relationships have carried through into my law practice, into my political life. Into
your Coffee with Will, continued shows.
So I don't feel any negativity about it because that same vision and intention has carried through absolutely. So I'm still just loving that experience. And now in a different context, in my private law practice, just getting to know people in a slightly different like I said, I guess context, it's been fabulous. Working, I still have excellent relationships with law enforcement and getting to know lawyers on a kind of different level, and being able to actually advocate and fight for clients is what is so satisfying. That's why I went to law school 20 years ago. Was so that I could be a voice for someone who really at a difficult time in their life needs advocacy. So I have a deep sense of personal satisfaction about that. So I definitely don't feel that was a negative. The people decide, they're leaders, and they will continue to decide, and we'll see what happens next time.
Yeah, so now, that all kind of being said, I think you're right. We do have kind of a negative view of failure, and it's difficult when you fail because you do feel like a failure sometimes. But, maybe there's someone out there right now who has, experienced some sort of failure in their life. I'm actually coming off of not hitting a running goal that I was, hoping to get, and it's difficult. You know that it's part of the process, but at the same time, what's one tip that you could give someone for gracefully moving through learning,
right.
Gracefully learning?
I would say the process is everything. It really is all about the process. So when you have a chance to not meet a goal or to fail or to have missed a mark, it's a really awesome time for introspection to say, why did I have that goal? What was I trying to accomplish? What didn't work? What did work? And then make adjustments. It's not like a zero-sum game of I'm good or I'm bad or I missed or I made. Those are just marks that we measure the progress. But in reality, there's so much learning that can happen when we say, okay, I see I need to adjust this thing in my running game or in my political life or in my personal life in a relationship. So it's a really awesome chance to, if you're wise about it, it's an awesome chance to adapt. So if you're feeling something that we would call failure, I would just say learn from it. Really have the honest ability to look at yourself and say, okay, what did I miss? And not like, oh, I missed it, but just like, what a great thing, because if I missed it, that means there's something to learn and I can do better that next time. And it's a continual process because you never actually get to a point where you're done. You're always
you're never
the
there. You're always in the process of moving that way, but you never get there.
And if you've ever studied anyone we call successful, they have said that they are successful because of their failures, not in spite of their failures. Because people who statistically experience success right away, they tend to become a little stagnant. It's those who have to fight and fight and fight. There's a book I listened to on tape that was just mind-blowing called The Obstacle is the Way. And it talks about the esoterics and the the Stoics, and how basically the obstacle itself is what makes a human struggle to have greatness. And when we don't have those, you literally stagnate yourself.
You kind of atrophy.
It might not feel like it at the moment, but when you realize you've hit an obstacle, it's an incredible opportunity because it means I have this growth that's possible. I think it would be depressing to go, I have no growth left.
I'm done. I'm checked out. See you later.
Now what? I don't know. I'm gonna go wrestle pigs or whatever.
I'm gonna go get my my pig tossing competition record going on there.
So it's a signal that there's some awesome growth ahead of you. If you can just be kind to yourself and just make an adjustment, just recalibrate. The process is everything. It is all about the process.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think letting yourself go through that process too, and being, like you said, be kind to yourself in the process. Absolutely. So now that being said, what did you learn? I want to talk to you about what you're doing now, but have you had a chance to introspect and kind of figure out what did you learn about yourself and just in general?
I did. I learned. I hadn't seen myself running for public office, so it was something that was fairly unplanned, and given time, I had a lot of time constraints. So I learned a lot of practical things, like get in the race earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
Little things like that, about fundraising, and that kind of thing. But in reality, about myself, what I learned is, I do have a lot to offer, and I have a natural passion that I really, really do care. And even if I tried not to, I wouldn't be able to. So I'm carrying that through now, like I said, in my private law practice and into being very active in politics and in getting into some leadership there. That allows me to do that because I love to be able to use my skills, whatever God's granted me, to be able to make the community better. I really get a deep, deep satisfaction out of that. And my children are to the age where, when my children were young, I had to be careful in how I prioritized my time. I feel free now to really develop myself in ways, how can I give back? How can I create around me? How can I lift other people around me? And I'm just really enjoying connecting with the community, because this community is really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and you mentioned, Laura mentioned before the cameras came on that she has started her own private law practice, and she's having quite a bit of success. So has there been things that have kind of translated from your work as, I believe you were the circuit judge, you were a judge for Elgin before this, correct?
I'm currently still the municipal court judge.
You're still the municipal court judge.
Yes.
Now.
So that's a warning. Don't go through Elgin too fast.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, gotcha. Don't throw my chickens in Elgin.
No, I think you're okay on that. I think you're good there.
Good.
I'm not going to give you legal advice, but throw away.
Perfect. So how has maybe this transitioned you well into your private law practice, but also forward into what you were talking about, your political place?
It's actually been seamless. I wasn't sure because, when I go into anything, I plan to win. I love to win. I love to win in the courtroom. I love to win a race. I love to win anything athletic. So I went in, burning the Rubicons and going for it. So when I didn't win, I just had to get up and go to work the next day, and nothing really changed. As far as how that's parlayed into my current life, it's just been incredible because the same people that I interact with, the same supporters, it's just gone right on. But now I can help them in a way that I wouldn't be able to otherwise. I can do that in a very one-on-one, empowering way. And as far as the political too, I haven't actually even advertised at all for my law firm, and I'm kind of like, wow! I mean, the success is like, be careful what you wish for. And I think a lot of that's just been because of name recognition. Because when you kind of get yourself out there, and they kind of see what you're about, it opens a lot of doors, and it's just been amazing. Like I said, whether legally or politically, to say this is what I'm about, put yourself out there in a very vulnerable way. Because politics is interesting that way.
Yeah, totally, absolutely.
Because you're kind of wide open. You don't know the person, but there's a sense that you do. And so it's been very gratifying for me, when you say about to allow myself to be vulnerable in that way. And the trade-off has been incredible because having opened myself to that, I also receive, there's always negativity that you get, but there's also so much that you receive back in terms of connecting with the community. So that's just been, like I said, seamless. And it's just carried on in a way that's very satisfying for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I've kind of, as we've been having this conversation, and our coffee with Will earlier, you've been talking sort of about purpose, using the gifts God's given you. Do you feel like your purpose in LeGrand or in the Grand Run Valley has changed, or is it the same as ever? And if so, what is that purpose?
My purpose in terms of connecting with this community is to empower this community, to basically help them, because we're really uniquely situated in this state. This state is unique among the other states, and this community is unique in this state. So it's a very dynamic interplay, I guess I would say. And I really, really love it. I think it's fantastic. And what I wanted to do was be a voice for the community and say, hey, this is what I see. What do you see? How can I help you do that? And I'm still absolutely doing that. It's just that, like I said, I can do that in my legal practice. I can do that on an individual basis when this person has this crisis and they need my help in that way. In terms of my political activity, it can be more of a group basis like it was in the campaign. These are the issues that we have. These are the steps we can take in the political process to empower the people to make that change. So I actually kind of get the best of both worlds, because I get that one-on-one and the group at the same time. And I definitely feel it feels the same in terms of listening, connecting, advocating, working hard on behalf of others. So I definitely see a lot of similarities.
Very cool, very cool. Well, Laura, thank you so much for coming in yet again and doing this ridiculous thing that I call online local television. I really appreciate it. As always, have some really, really valuable tips and insights.
My pleasure.
And I'm sure that we'll probably be seeing you again, at least once or twice before this whole LeGrand ride is over.
Awesome.
So, and thank you, LeGrand Alive. Be sure to tune in to legrandalive.tv for more local content. One more big shout out to our sponsors. I'm going to get them right this time. Grand Ron Hospital, Northwest Furniture and Mattress, Anything to Digital, EO&I, and Les Schwab Tire Center. I think I missed them toward the beginning. Again, Les Schwab Tire Center. They are a great business here in town that does really cool things with supporting local causes. Like I said, I'm Will Bowman. We'll see you next time on The Second Pot. See you later, LeGrand Alive.